Okay, I'm sick of the leftist narrative trying to vilify firearm owners, trying to say that, oh, because you own a firearm, you want to kill people. Because you own a firearm, you don't care about safety. Da 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 da. No, because I own a firearm, I do care about safety because I know the reality of the situation and the reality of life. We don't live in a bubblegum rainbow universe like we all think we do, where everybody's happy go lucky and hugging everybody every time. Okay? We live in a universe or a world where there's people with mental disorders who will do crazy things. And we've got people going around acting like, oh, well, because you carry guns and guns exist, that's why there's all this death and da 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 da. It's like, no, look at all the evidence. Look at any Democrat ran city or any majority Democrat city has extremely strict gun laws. They have extremely high crime. When there are places with very lenient gun laws, a majority, if not all the time, they have very low crime. Because people are like, well, the more crime, the more victims. No, or not more crime, the more firearms, the more victims. No, the more firearms, the less victims. Yes, there may be a few people who get killed every year, in accidents or by firearms. Yes, but the overwhelming majority will be saved. Now, what do you mean by that? Well, when a city doesn't have firearms and they have a very strict gun laws, there are way more crimes. There's way more victims, more murders, more R words, more everything in that city. Then, when you bring in firearms and you allow people to carry, crime rate plummets. So yeah, there's less victims when everybody's carrying a gun and more victims when they're not. Because when no one's carrying a gun, the criminals are incentivized. Because the cat's already out of the bag. The genie's already out of the bottle. You can't uninvent a firearm, just like we can't uninvent the nuclear missile. Yeah, we all want nuclear weapons to be illegal, but Russia and China still own them, so do we. And same thing with firearms. Just because we can get rid of them doesn't mean they won't exist. Just like in Japan, they banned firearms, yet their prime minister was still killed by somebody who built a firearm in his garage. And that's the point. Regardless of what you say, you can build a firearm in your garage with whatever you want. A lathe, 3D printer, a pipe, a 2x4, and a fucking nail. Literally. So the cat's already out of the bottle. So to sit here and say, oh, we need to get rid of firearms is not going to do anything aside from create more victims and make you look more like you're right, because you're going to say, oh, well, look, there's more victims, there's more victims, there's more victims. No, there's more victims because you're skewing the data by shoving people into areas that have very strict gun laws. Then you state that, oh, well, look at all this gun crime. The people who are killing people with the firearms in the first place shouldn't have them. And to sit here and say, oh, well, we need to add more gun laws and all this nonsense. We already have tons of laws on cars, yet more people are killed by cars every year, and more people are killed by hammers every year than AR-15s or assault weapons. So if you really cared about lives, you would put background checks on hammers at Lowe's, and you wouldn't allow people to buy a car off Marketplace. That's my point, and let's stop holding this double standard across the board.